Hello all, a very good morning. So first of all, on the behalf of STAD Solution, I warmly welcoming you all. Okay, so I know you all are very excited today to learn about a new, which is very trending tool, Playwright. Okay, so webinar start करने से पहले let me tell you a small intro about the Playwright. So आप सब ने Selenium का नाम बहुत सुना होगा. सी तो जब सिलेनियम मार्केट में आया तो ही मेड इट पॉसिबल कि हम लोग ऑटोमेशन परफॉर्म कर सके, चीजों को ऑटोमेट कर सके. बट समवेयर लिटिल बिट बल्की या फ्लेक्सी था उसका कोड. देन द साइप्रस एंटर्ड इनटू द मार्केट, जिसने आपके काम को स्मूथर कर दिया. बट देन द गेम चेंजर दैट इज अ प्ले राइट केम इन द मार्केट, जिसने आपको स्मार्टर कर दिया. सो प्ले राइट इज नॉट अ डोंकी, इट इज अ हॉर्स. सो मेनी टाइम्स आप लोगों ने देखा होगा कि व्हेन यू आर राइटिंग अ स्क्रिप्ट तो बहुत सारे ऐसे कॉम्प्लेक्स यूआईज हैं जो दूसरे ऑटोमेशन टूल्स इतनी इजीली परफॉर्म नहीं करते जितना इजीली प्ले राइट कर लेता है. या आपके डायनेमिक एलिमेंट्स है कि बार बार एलिमेंट चेंज हो रहा है, इजीली प्ले राइट उसे हैंडल कर लेता है. या फिर अगर आपको मल्टीपल ब्राउजर्स में रन करना है, सो मल्टीपल ब्राउजर्स में रन करने के लिए यू हैव टू राइट अ डिफरेंट स्क्रिप्ट्स. पर सपोज अगर आपको एक ही स्क्रिप्ट में सारा काम हो जाए तो कितना टाइम बच जाएगा, कितना कोड बच जाएगा, और आपका एफर्ट भी कम लगेगा. तो प्लेराइट आपको ये चीज करता है कि मल्टीपल ब्राउजर्स का स्क्रिप्ट एक बार में लिख के दे देगा. सो नाउ यू गाइस गेट इट कि क्यों इतना ज्यादा डिमांडिंग एंड पॉपुलर है ये टूल. एंड जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ दैट जो बड़ी बड़ी टॉप कंपनीज है लाइक माइक्रोसॉफ्ट, अडोब, एक्सपीडिया, they all are using Playwright because of कि open source है and it is smarter and easily आप पूरा situation scenarios check कर सकते हैं. So इस पूरे session में we will going to walk through with the Playwright and tell you why Playwright is a good choice for end-to-end testing. So I hope you all are excited to learn about the Playwright. Just write in the text box. So just write in the text box that how much are you interested. Okay, so before starting with the Playwright, let me give a small intro regarding a STAD solution and regarding the speaker of today. So let me share a screen. Just give me a second. So STAT Solution, it is a software testing and training institute. So we are dedicatedly gave a training into software testing itself. So we provide a training into manual testing, into automation testing, into ISTQB training and tool trainings. So if I'm going with our training methodology, first we make you understand the concept, the theory concepts. Then we used to perform practical on it. Then we used to give you a variety of assignments. The entire session will going to work on a live applications. We also make you prepare for the non-tech preparations like HRV interviews, LinkedIn sessions, resume writings, etc. Then we completely tell you how you have to create a company focused resumes or CVs, and ATS friendly, of course. So after completion of your entire training, we used to provide you the certificate, which we can submit anywhere and it is globally accepted. So after that, we'll provide an interview calls to you for your future job placements. So why STAT Solution? It is an ISO certified company. So at the end, when you get a certificate, which is also an ISO certified, we already trained and placed more than 5,000 students. We have a tie-up with 350 plus companies, maximum them placed into MNCs and MLCs. All the industrial experts, faculties over here, they are from the industries, having a huge years of experiences with the top MNC companies. We also provide you 100% placement support. So we have a student across the globe like USA, Canada, Poland, Singapore, UAE, UK, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, and many more. So these are the list of companies where our students have successfully started their career like TCS, Tech Mahindra, Cognizant, Accenture, PwC, etc. So this is all about the STAD solution. So before starting a further session, let me give a small intro regarding our speaker of the day. So Mr. Manish Saini, he is a developer advocate at Browsers Tech and having more than 10 years over the software testing and work with the quality assurance. His specialization into the test automation, performance testing, and agile methodology. His leadership skills is into the leadership. He's also into the coaching professions and dividing a new QA strategies. So this is all about the Manish. So Manish, we warmly welcoming you at Stat Solution platform and sharing your informations with our students, with our viewers. So I'm just handing over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Richa.
Uh, so Manish, you can continue as per your requirements and just introduce yourself with the students and let them know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, hey everyone, how are you? How are you all doing today? And thanks for attending this on a weekend. I know it's tough. And welcome all. First, like I want to know like from which cities you are logging in and from where you are attending. So, it will be great if you can drop your cities or countries in the chat, and then we will move. Till then, let me share my screen. So I see people from Delhi, people from Pune. So welcome everyone. So let's start with web application testing with Playwright. So before starting, a small introduction about myself. I'm Manish Saini, senior lead developer advocate at Browsers Tech, and I have around like 10 years of experience, more than 10 years. I've been from starting working into the QA domain. Now currently I'm working with Browsers Tech as a developer advocate. So I bridge the gap between developers and testers to listen about their pain point and how in Browsers Tech we can solve a QA's problem. Again, like I have been worked in multiple firms as in QA and as in STATs, and I have done the automation work very extensively, from like UI automation to backend automation, then API performance testing, and how we can build a great framework that is more flexible for a uh, testing firm, or you can say testing team, and how we can scale it more. So this is like more about me. Now coming down to like what we are going to learn today. So I, I will tell you like what is all about like web automation testing. This is more about like Playwright, but I will give you the fundamentals, how we will do things into the web automation testing. Besides of the tool itself, you can choose between the tools like Selenium, Cypress, and Playwright. We are going with the Playwright today, but the automation techniques, or you can say automation best practices for web automation, will remain same for you. Then we will focus on like why we have chosen Playwright, why it is more demanding nowadays, what are its features, why it stands better for your future, and what are its advantages when we compare it with previous tools. Then how Playwright works, what is its architecture, how it's different from Selenium and other tools. Then we will learn how we can set up the Playwright, and we are using Python here, and I will also tell you like why we have chosen Python, and what are all the languages which Playwright support. And then in the end we will write some test cases with some scenarios, and I will also walk you through to some best practices of writing web automation tests. Okay, so first, like, what is web automation testing? So you, before proceeding to web automation testing, we will learn about what is web testing, or you can say website testing, or we can also say it web application testing. So generally, all the web applications, we use them in browsers, and by testing means like we will test it through different data sets, different use cases, whether it's performing well or whether it's like built according to our user requirements. And in automation part, we can automate those steps or those tasks which we are performing manually previously. So here the main role is of like we are automating our browser interactions. So whatever we are doing in our browser manually, we will try to automate that stuff. Now, what kind of like automation tasks we are talking about here? Like interacting with web pages, like opening some web pages, checking it out, what are like different elements present over it. Then we have like forms, input parameters, or you can say input fields, buttons in a web page. We will be clicking those buttons. We will be checking all the buttons whether they are working or not. We will try to fill some forms and submit them. And after, we will validate UI elements in web automation testing, whether the things are present on to the you can say web page or not. And also we will check the functionality, whether they are working according to their functionally written thing. And at the end, like, it's more about the automation of repetitive task, what you are doing, and what you are doing more manually. It will become difficult when you have, like, suppose in the starting of the projects you have around like probably hundreds of the test cases, but when your project grow, it becomes like 100 to 1000, then thousands to multiple thousands. But doing those manually every time in every regression cycle become a tedious task. And you need to scale your team, you need to scale your resources. So by automation we can solve this stuff. We can automate it once, and then we can run it multiple times in every regression cycle in anytime, like whenever there are some changes on those web pages. Now, coming down to like, what are the tasks you perform daily on your, you can say, website testing things, and what you would like to automate. So I want to know about this from you guys. Like, write in the chat what are the tasks you like personally feel these are the tasks consume your lot of time, and you want to automate that part, and you want to focus more on some you can say creative work rather than just repeating those tests in every cycle, and wasting your time kind of. And so what you want to automate, just put it in the chat. Now, if we talk about like I have talked previously also, like why we need this automation in the testing. First thing is like testing cycles. We want to speed up. So as I told you, like initially we have few hundred tests, and then it comes to like down to like multiple thousand tests. And we need to execute that fastly, and in like shorter cycles. Like if something started like with a one day of regression cycle, and whenever you can say project grows, it come down to like it goes up to like 3 4 5 days of regression testing. We need to speed up that testing cycle. We need to make it still be doing into 1 or 2 days, whether we have like 100 test cases or we have 1000 test cases. That's how like automation will help in our testing. Second part is repetitive task. Uh, Sometimes like you need to generate test data, you need to perform some set of instructions before starting your test cases. And for that, you need to every time execute few repetitive, you can say, steps to remove those, you can say, repetitiveness from your testing. We can automate them so that it can work effortlessly. Third is test accuracy. So whenever we do testing, there will be a kind of like chance of human error. We are not machines, so we can make mistakes. and there are chances we can skip few things, or we have biases. If we are checking something and it's getting passed every time, there will be chances like maybe in future, or when we are checking that 10th time or 20th time, we will skip it, or we will just not check it that rigorously because we thought we have a bias that it will pass, and it is just taking our time. So to make it improving in test accuracy, automation tests have like more accurate things because they check the things every time with with the steps of whatever like we have defined initially, and every time it will be having the high accuracy than when we compare it to the human person. Third is test coverage. So now we will talk about like more into cross browser testing, cross device testing. Nowadays like we have at least like two three main browsers which are used widely. Apart from it, when it comes to devices, we have like thousands of devices. Even like in browser stack we support around like 3,000 devices, so you can think about like there are multiple devices where you need to check your test cases, your websites, and doing it manually, you simply you can't do that part. Like it's kind of impossible to doing testing your website or a web application in every device or every browser one by one. It will take a lot of time. So here comes the like automation handy. You can create a script for one device, or you can say one OS or one browser, and you will run it across all the devices and browsers, and you will see like what all the browsers or devices are failing, where your test cases are failing, and you can fix that part. And at the end, detect bugs early. So here, suppose like we have a team where first the things will be into the development stage, then it comes to the testing, and after testing, suppose someone shipped it like maybe like Friday evening, or probably like anytime in a day in the evening, then the first test we are going to run is to the next day in the morning. So we will test it manually, and we will see like what kind of issues. And suppose there are issues in like maybe on to the 10th phase, or like on multiple steps, or we have some edge cases, it will delay the things. We will find out lately. But in automations, once like developer will push their changes to the CI/CD pipeline, we can automatically trigger the pipeline with our test automation setup, where all our automated tests will run and give you a feedback like these test cases are failed, and a developer need to check these features whether they have built them correctly or not. So that's how we can like leverage the automation to detect the issues early. Now comes down to like what are the popular web automation tools. I have listed few, but it's not just these four. There are like more testing tools in the market currently, but these are the four which are widely used. Like Selenium. Selenium is kind of like oldest one. So before Selenium, there is like QTP. So if you have known the stories of, you can say, Selenium, how Selenium was built, or like why it is named as Selenium. Yeah. So if someone knows, please write in the chat. And I will gonna tell you like maybe after a few minutes why Selenium is named Selenium. Then comes to like Cypress. Selenium have some issues. Like we will talk about it in architecture part also, but majorly it's like it's flakiness, which is the major issue which people faced with the Selenium. And also Selenium is not that much of user friendly, and it have a bit high learning curve. When someone start with Selenium, he need to put on some, you can say, hours of learning to learn how the things will go on. Then comes the Cypress, and or we can say majorly JavaScript based tools, Cypress, WebDriver IO, Puppeteers. So they have solved the issue of like those flakiness, and it works with component testing very greatly. But it have a limitation that most of those tools like Cypress, WebDriver IO, and Puppeteer all are like JavaScript based. You cannot code them in like different languages. They do not support like multiple browsers like Selenium, and uh, you are somehow like kind of stuck with component testing only. They are not that much of great for the end-to-end testing. And at the end, Playwright comes up a few years ago, and then it changed everything. It have solved a lot of things which are issues in Selenium. It supports like multiple browsers. It support multiple languages. It also have API testing built inside it. So we will see what are some other features of the Playwright. And even like STAD solutions have like a lot of other webinars also with different tools like Playwright for API testing, for performance testing, and all those stuff. So you can subscribe to their YouTube channel. You can follow them in Instagram. Okay, so continuing on our thing, like what is Playwright? So Playwright started as a open source library. So open source is something like when developers like you, me, and like people who are more enthusiastic in like developing things, they coded the Playwright, put it onto the like GitHub, and made it like open source, so that like anybody can use it. And later on, Microsoft kind of like adopted it. Now it is like still open source, it's free, but Microsoft manages it like as a library, and it have a great support from Microsoft. Now c- it comes with like multiple browsers. You can test your test cases into the Chromium. Chromium is like what like Chrome is, and Edge also. Microsoft Edge is also based out of Chromium. Then Mozilla Firefox, and at the end like Safari, which comes with the macOS. It also support like multiple languages: Python, JavaScript, Java, .NET. We will be using Python today. So natively, it's built with the JavaScript, and it have supported libraries with Python, Java, and .NET also. It also have like cross-platform things. We can use it in Windows, Mac OS, Linux, anywhere. So how Playwright is like different from its counterparts? Maybe like majorly, it's compared with the Selenium. Cypress and Playwright have few common features, but still, like Cypress do not support a lot of things which Playwright supports, like multiple languages is one thing. You cannot write code in Python or Java for Cypress. So first thing is like automatic waiting. Selenium have an issues with the waiting part. Suppose your website is slow or some elements are loading dynamically, so you need to add an explicit wait every time these things happen, and it is kind of like non-controllable things. Sometimes your website can load the things in few microseconds or few milliseconds, but sometimes it can take few seconds, like 2 3 seconds. So making that explicit wait makes your test very bulky. Every time you add a wait, it will increase the execution time. It will cost a lot when you are running these things in a CI/CD pipeline. So Playwright solved it using automatic waiting. Like whenever you ask for an allocator or anything, it waits automatically until it loads, rather than you need to put a explicit waits. Second part is parallel execution. Selenium also support parallel execution, but it comes through Selenium Grid. So you need to set up it, I think, separately, and that have you can say its all efficiency, or you can say its own efforts. But Playwright natively support parallel execution. You can run your test cases in parallel, running simultaneously, different tests running simultaneously, and it will make your test execution faster and reduce your test execution time. Then comes to advanced browser control. You can open multiple tabs, and you can use multiple context, and you can handle the pop-ups, you can handle the iframes and all those stuff in Playwright. Then in debugging, it supports like screenshots, videos, and it have a, like detailed trace logs. You can check out the timeline of your test cases, how they are executing, what kind of things they are doing in between the, you can say, entire time, where they have failed, what kind of scenario they have. Also, it have like stable test. When we combine these things, it makes us less maintainable, and it reduce the time significantly for the maintenance part. And to add on this, like it also supports API testing, but currently we are more talking about like web automation testing. So I have not written the API part, but it supports the API testing natively when we compare it with other tools like Selenium or Cypress. Now, why should we choose the Playwright? First thing is like it's very easy and fast to set up Playwright. Like it's more beginner friendly. I will show you like how you can set up these things in probably with Python, and you will see like how fast it is. In Selenium, we need to take care of the web drivers. We need to download their you can say native web drivers for Chrome, for Firefox. Then we need to maintain them, though it have libraries, it have third party support for them, and you need to take care for that. Now they are improving and they are going towards the Playwright strategy, but still Playwright have like more beginner friendly things. Then it have cross browser compatibility. You need to write once for one browser and it will run in every browser. Then automatic waits, as I've told you, it will wait until the elements will load, and this reduce the flakiness a lot. Fourth, robust debugging. It have built-in tracing, screenshots, videos. You can see what's going inside it. You can run your test cases into the debug mode and then check out like where they are failing and all those stuffs, whatever goes inside them. Then we have like community support, like as I have told you, like Microsoft adopted Playwright and it have a great community support. Previously, when we compared like Selenium and Playwright, one thing is like community support. Selenium have a like wider community and have greater community support, but nowadays like Python, Playwright also have a similar community support when we compare it with Selenium, and it have a great documentation. If you go to like Playwright documentation, you will find each and every steps and each and everything's documented well, and it's easy to start direct from the documentation. So now let's talk about like how Playwright do your stuff, or like when we write a Playwright test, how it will execute the things onto the browser. And we will also see what's the difference between Playwright and Selenium. Uh, so whenever you write some tests, it will send the commands to the Playwright server, and then the Playwright server sends the things to the browser. And there is a one major difference which we have in Selenium and Playwright is Playwright have a bidirectional, or you can say multi-directional architecture. Your test can communicate with the Playwright server in multiple direction. Like in the same time, your test can send instruction to the server at simultaneously. Playwright can send instructions to the, or you can say share the feedback from the browser to the test. But when we compare it with the Selenium, this the communication we see is not multidirectional, it unidirectional. Either your test can talk with the web driver, or you can say Selenium server, or Selenium server can talk with the tests. Now they are adopting like bidirectional communication, and in in like current version of Seleniums, or like from last 2 years around, like they have worked extensively onto the bidi part, and it supports bidirectional. But Playwright from the starting supports the this bidirectional or multidirectional network between server and test, and it makes it like much faster. If you see like Playwright test will run like when you like you're blinking your eyes, even sometimes you can't see what's happening inside the test cases. It just go onto the browsers and clicks the elements so fastly, like you can't see them sometimes. So that's why Playwright is like much faster than when we compare it with Selenium. Now it comes to like how we can set up Playwright. So we are using Python here again. So first thing, we need to install Python, and it should be like Python 3.8 plus versions. Currently, we have 3.13, I think, which is like more stable version, and 3.14 is like it's kind of like currently in working. Then we will be installing the things using pip. Pip is like Python package installer, and we will be running through the, you can say, installing packages through the pip. Then we need to install the Playwright using pip, and I will show you how we can do that part. Then tools recommendation. So either we can use like multiple IDs. So there are like two major ID for Python is like VS Code and PyCharm. I will be using PyCharm here. You can also use VS Code. So both are great. And then for locators, I will suggest you to go with selector sub. Selector sub is like it's a great tool to find out the selectors or locators very easily, very fastly. You don't need to like spend a lot of time to creating them manually, rather than just check out like whatever selector sub suggest. You can find out like CSS selector, XPath, and all those stuff for that. Now, how Playwright is integrated with the Python. So we can use Playwright with Python in two ways. One is like synchronous way, second is asynchronous way. So I will be using like PyTest with PyTest. So PyTest is like a synchronous way. Don't need to do the async part. It is automatically into the synchronous way. So you just need to write the things. And Playwright have a direct integration with the PyTest. You can install the PyTest package of the like Playwright, and then it will give you a lot of leverages inside the PyTest only. It have like multiple add-on markers. You can decide the which browser you need to test, and it have more options for that also. Then why are we choosing Python? We can choose anything like Java, Python, JavaScript, TypeScript, .NET, but Python is like more you can say easy to learn things. So it have a like very lean, you can say, learning curve. You can easily learn the Python. It's more like kind of like English. You are writing the code in English only. You don't need to go with those like semicolons and all those kind of stuffs. And you don't need to like if you compare it with the Java, Python is like more beginner friendly. Then Python is like have a great integrations with different libraries. You can easily test the things with the APIs. Playwright also have seamlessly integrated the things with the PyTest, and you can also go through with the documentation of that. Then Python and Playwright both have a great documentation on official Playwright website, how you can use the things with the Python, and it is greatly documented. Now, before writing the first test, we will talk about like how we can set up the things on Playwright. So let me show you. So this is the site where first we need to download the Python. I already have like Python in my system, so I'm not downloading it again and setting up. But whatever like OS you has, whether Windows, Linux, or Mac OS, you can download the Python version. You can install it. Then comes down to PyCharm. PyCharm have their you can say community edition as well as professional edition. So community edition is free. You can download the PyCharm community edition and set that up. You just need to install. It doesn't need some extensively set up things. So I already have like PyCharm installed also. So I will be working on PyCharm uh, with the Playwright thing, and I already have like Python also installed. So let me show you a PyCharm project. So this is a project. So you can download the PyCharm. You just need to create a new project. You can name it anything, and this is something which you will see when you enter into the new project. So before diving in, let me explain a bit about this VENV, virtual environment. So when we work with Python, Python gives a like advantage of like virtual environment. Virtual environment is something a kind of like isolated environment where you can install your libraries, install your packages, and it will be part of just that particular project, and it will not be installed throughout your, you can say, Python or throughout your system. So it helps you to be separated from different projects. Like suppose you need some library or dependencies for this Playwright project, and equally you will be working with some API testing or performance testing, and there you will need some different libraries. So you can create virtual environments separately for all of your, you can say, different projects, and that virtual environment can bind you through that project, and you can install the things in that particular virtual environment, and it will not go beyond that part. You can use that virtual environment, you can delete that part, you can say install multiple libraries. It will not affect your other projects, so it will keep you isolated. So first, let's start with like installing the Playwright in our system, or you can say in our virtual environment. So for that, we need to install Playwright. So I have used the command pip install pytest playwright. So after running this command, it will install the pytest inside your virtual environment, and it will also install the Playwright. Now we need Playwright have like all the browsers inside your, you can say, project. For that, we need to install all the browsers. So for that, we have a command called playwright install. So once you run this, uh, I already have like installed all the browsers, so it doesn't show anything. But when you hit the Playwright install button, it will run the Chromium. It will download the Chromium library. It will download WebKit. It will download the Firefox part. Now we are set to write our test cases. So let's write our first test case. I'm creating a new Python file. Let's call it demo underscore test. So to start with, we will increase the things gradually. First, we will be just opening a website. So to showcase, like I will be using this website, 𝗙𝗂𝗏 Demo. It's a demo website. We can say it's just used for doing the things onto the automation side. We will see like how we can perform some demos and how we can uh, create a project for our, you can say, Playwright test. So I'll be using this browser stack demo website. So what I'm doing for my first test, I will be opening this website. Then let's inspect something. Maybe let's find out what is the title of this website. Okay. So the title goes with stack demo. So we will see, we will try to open this website and then check out whether the title showcase. Just a second. Yeah. So, and then we will assert our test cases whether the title stack demo is present on our website or not. So let's try to write that. Okay. So we will name our test cases open v stack demo. So first I will write the test case, then I will explain like what are the things, why we have written these things, and what's inside that part. Then, okay. So first thing is when we write any test in Python and PyTest have a rule, either we need to write test in the starting or we need to write test in the ending. So that's how like PyTest work, and it will detect your test cases automatically if you have written a test name like test text in the starting or at the end. It will be automatically read by the PyTest, right? So I have created a function where we called it like test open bstack demo. Then we have a parameter page. So it's built inside automatically using the PyTest. You can call a page is like having a context and then opening a web page. Then I told it to like page.goto. Goto is like a function or you can say method to open the website. And after that, I have asserted it. Assert is used to like when you check something, when you test something on a website, you will write the assert like uh, I'm checking here is stack demo text is present in the title. Now let's try to run it. So it's open the website and it's checked. And you can see like it shows one passed. It's like that fast. We can't even see the website opening properly, but and automation like it's check whether the website is loaded perfectly and whether the stack demo is present inside the page title or not. So that's how you can write your first test case. It's just that simple. Now, if you want to write some you can say better test case, it's a like pretty simple one. Let's try to log in inside that website. Let's try to sign in. Let's go with test login. So I have created a new Python file with the name of test login, and now I will write my function again with the page. So it, it will take a lot of time to just write all the test script. Let me copy it and show you like what I have written already, and then we will go through the code line by line. So again, we are opening the website page with page.goto. Then we are clicking an element. If we see here on the website, this, okay, here is the button sign in. So once we click this sign in button, then we will see a like username and a password field. Mm, let's keep it here. Now we are clicking on a username. You can see that there are already few usernames. So we will be using demo user from this drop down menu. So I have clicked the username ID. Then I have collected an locator which have the text demo user and clicked it. Similarly, I have done it with password and I have used this testing fun 99 as a password. Then I have hit the login button and it makes us logged in. And after that, I have verified whether the text demo user here is visible on the screen or not. So it's a simple test where we will be signing into a website and we are checking whether we have like signed into that part. Now let's try to run this one. So I'm using this tag headed. I will explain you what it means and how you can use it like in different things. So it ran the test cases. It's very slow. Let's run it in a slow motion mode, bit like to see what's happening inside. So I am at least like giving 2 seconds delay. So now you can see it will click on the sign in, then it will select the demo user, then it will go to the, so I have added a like slow motion. So it's purely for the demo purpose. So after every step, it will stop for 2 seconds or 2000 milliseconds so that we can see. Otherwise, like it's way too fast. If we see previous test execution time is just like 8 seconds, launching the browser and doing all the steps. Now it's increased to like 24 seconds just for the demo purpose. So you've seen how we have written a login test. It's like just few lines of code, and you don't need to write anything. You can just start with writing a function using its parameter page, and then writing all the things to the like what you want to do with that page instance. Okay. Now we will come to like how we can test the things into like cross browser. So cross browser means like we have like multiple browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft has, Safari. We just need to write this. So we have written one test cases. We don't need to write it for like Chrome. We don't need to write it separately for Firefox or Microsoft has. We can run this test case only in different browsers directly. I will show you how we can do that part. But before that, like why it is important. So every person use like different browser and it have some differences by itself also. Uh, it can be related to like size or like how a browser handle your website. So every browser have its own differences. So we need to check our test cases to run them on like different browser. Then it comes to like user experience. Once you test your thing on like different browsers, you solve their issues, it creates a better user experience. Like if you are using Firefox and some people are using Chrome, imagine like something which is working on Chrome but not working for you on Firefox. It will make your experience, you can say, worst. Like you can't use it because you love to use Firefox, and you can't use that part or that website in your browser just because the product, or you can say testing team, have not done cross browser testing. So similarly, like it is for the coverage part, like we need to increase the test coverage for multiple devices, multiple browsers. So it should support like cross browser testing, and we can test the things with Playwright in multiple browsers. Now, how like Playwright handle the things, how Playwright simplifies these things for cross-browser testing. As I told you, like we just need to write one test, and you can run it in like multiple browsers. You don't need to write the test extensively for you can say different browsers. So one test can be used in for multiple browsers. It have a built-in support. You don't need to configure the things for like different browsers. You don't need to download them or maintain them separately. It's just part of your Playwright project. And then the browser management I have told you, like and you can easily run your test cases on different browsers just by giving a single command. I will show you how you can do that part. So this is how you can do, you can say, or you can say choose the browser when you run your thing. So whenever like you are running the test through the PyTest, you just need to give a command dash dash browser and just specify the browser. By default, it's run on Chrome. But if you want to run it on Firefox, just give it Firefox. If you want to run it on Safari, give it like WebKit. WebKit is like part for Safari. And then we also have a flag called headed or headless. Headless is like by default it's headless. If you will not write this headed dash dash headed, it will run in the background without showing what's going on into the onto the like browser screen, and it runs into the background. So headless is a great thing when you run your test cases in the, or you can say on CI/CD pipeline when you are running it overnightly or something. Headless is like a bit faster because your browser don't need to come up onto the UI, just do the things inside their threads. And headed is like more useful when you are debugging it, or when you are like automating it first time. You need to see what are the things going on, how things are working. So let me show you to like run one test case on that. So we'll be running this login test case. Let's try headed with Firefox. I will give it a browser called Firefox. Let's try to run it on Firefox. Now it have opened the like Firefox counterpart rather than Chromium, and it's running the things into the Firefox. So you see like the same test cases, and you can also see the difference. Like in Chrome, we have done it in like 24 seconds. In Firefox, it took like 22 point something like 23 seconds. So that's how you can run it. Let me show you to run it on headless mode also. I'm also deleting this slow-mo part, and let's just run it in Chrome. Nothing, just plain PyTest running your test file. So now it goes into like headless mode. You will not see anything onto the UI. It will be running into the background, and yeah, it just completed in like 5.92 seconds in the background, and everything is like in a very fast manner, you can say. So let's focus on next. So, and one question from my side, like what is the your preferred browser for web testing? Like I know like almost 80% of the people, or you can say more than 80% of the people use Chrome. So what are like different browsers you guys use for your web testing? Because it is very essential to use multiple browsers, because you don't know what your user will be gonna use for using your website, or you can say using your web application. So let me know in the chat which browser do you usually prefer for your web testing. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because we will be hosting like more webinars like this. Now coming down to like I have shown you like how I have written some locators. So how we can inspect those web elements. I'm not going too deep into this, because inspecting web elements can be a like separate topic, and it will take a lot of time. But to give you a bit of brief like how it works. So our website works on HTML elements. So like I have shown you, there is a complete HTML DOM behind all, you can say, websites. We have the source, where multiple kind of like tags, or multiple like div and buttons and all those stuffs, or all those elements are inside those, you can say, HTML page. Then through the automation, you will interact with those elements, right? So a simple way to do that part is like just right click onto the element and select inspect. So it will show you what is the HTML code behind that element, and you can see that part. So when it comes to like locators, we have like text locators, which is like just the simple things, the whatever the text written over the element, like we have checked the title with the text part. So similarly, we have buttons, we have all those stuff, so which are visible as in text, so we can call them through the text part. Then we have like CSS selectors, and where we can call them through the IDs, we can call them through classes and other HTML structure. Then we have XPath, where we can create an path with multiple elements, and to go through that path, we can write those XPaths for our preferred element. And those XPath, those CSS selector, you can easily figure them out through the, you can selector sub uh, tool also. You can install it in your Chrome. It's an extension of Chrome, and you can easily find that out. Then comes to role locators. You can also find out the locators, like get them by their role, whether they are like text, whether they are like class, or these kind of stuff. Now coming down to like handling dynamic elements. Dynamic elements are here like something, suppose you have clicked over something and it took some time to load. Sometimes it can be a pop-up, or it can be a you can say JavaScript based alert or something. And then it comes to like loading bars and all those stuff, how you will handle them. So the challenges what we face is like, first thing is they are not immediately visible, and for alerts, they are not part of our you can say HTML codes. They I will show you what kind of alerts I am talking about. But first thing is like it's not that easy to handle. But how Playwright simplifies it for waiting thing, it have an automatic waiting, and we can easily put out like just wait for this element until it's showcase onto the web page, and then once we can see the element, that click on it, or like check whether it's present or not. We can also explicitly handle these things with like custom weights, or put out some custom conditions. So let me show you how we can do that part. So I am creating a new file. So again, I'm creating a new function. I'll be just doing the same things. I'm going to the like same website, BStack demo, and now I'm clicking on something. Let's see. So when we open it without signing, so these things will show. So you can see there are few Samsung phones like Galaxy S20, right? But in the first phase, they are not present. So I will click on like this Samsung. Then it will showcase us like all the Samsung phones, right? So I will be doing that part. I will clicking on this Samsung button, then check out whether we can see this Galaxy S20 on our screen or not. So let's write it down. Paste.click text Samsung. Yeah, it's capital. Then let's paste dot. So I'll be waiting for the element. Like first, I will wait like whether the element is present on the screen or not, and then I will check like I will assert for it like whether it's present or not. Again, I'm using text selector, and let's see what is the fault. Let's take this one. Now I will assert it. Visible. And so it's just a simple task like I'll be going to the same website, and then clicking the text Samsung, and then checking out like whether it's have like Galaxy S20 phone present onto the screen or not. Let's run it. So it have clicked onto the Samsung, and then you can see like it passed. So similarly, let's see like how it handles different like pop-up alerts, or we can say JavaScript based alerts. Let's create another test. Right. So I already have the code, so it will be a bit lengthy to showcase everything. Let me copy that up and put it here. Let me first show you the website, what I am using here. So this is also a demo website. So I'm using this, like when you click on this JS alert, it will show you this kind of an alert. You have seen that multiple times on your website, web pages. Again, like we have a confirm button, like I am a JS confirm of this, okay, and then prompt. Sometimes we need to put something like XYZ kind of thing. So here how I am doing that part, again I am just opening the website, then we have a function called handle dialog, where we will be handling that dialog, and the dialog have written like alert text, and we just need to accept it, and then we will call that function of like handle dialog, and we will see whether it have clicked or not. And again, I have opened this website for second part. Here we have that like OK and cancel button. So I will be clicking on to the confirm. And in the third one, I will be putting some text, hello from Playwright, and then again clicking on to that prompt. So let's see how it works. And alerts. So it have opened the website, as you can see. Now the alert have come, and it have like quickly exited that part. Similar for JS confirm, it have handled it. And now for the last part, you see like it shows hello from Playwright. It have entered the text. So how fastly it is, you can see, and it can handle those alerts and pop-ups. So it can be done in Selenium also, but Playwright, it handles it very easily. And JavaScript based things, you can write that down just natively into the Playwright also. Now coming up next, we have like page object models. So when you write your, you can say, test cases, or you can say website things, in web automation testing, as I have written, you can see I have written the things on a different files in a single test cases. But when you write the things according to like page object model, it's more about a like how you design your framework, right? So in page object model, let me show you. We have a page. Suppose we have a login page. So whatever function or whatever things we will be doing or interaction we will be doing in that page, we will write that down inside that page class. Then for different pages, we have different page classes. And whenever we have to use that function from that page, we will uh, call a object from that page class and use that in our test script. So it might be like be looking a bit complex, but I will show you how you can use that part. And it is like widely used design pattern when you write web automation test cases. Let me show you. So this is like simple login test cases which we have written. If we need to write it in a better manner, or you can say in page object models. So first I will create a package called pages, right? So in pages, I will create a class for login page. So here we will write everything about our login page. So for login page, we have like first thing is we will be doing that part of like clicking on the sign in and doing the sign in part. So I will move this code to our login page part. Let's move it here. Define. First, we need to write the class login page. Then we will initialize this class. Like it was. And before going to this page, let's let it make it. Now we can use this like page here. It shows error because we have not used it yet. Let us just use it. First, we will be doing all this stuff from here to here. From page, we will be calling it self.page. Yeah, so we have created a page, right, in the initiation of the class login page. Now we have written all our things into the login, like page.click this to make it like more attractive. Let me copy the things first. I've written all of these stuff like this element, or you can say locator. It goes like um, uh, okay, so we don't need that part because we will be directly onto the sign in page. Yeah, this ID username, then a demo user, the username part, password we have here, and everything I have written here because this function, suppose like there will be any changes to this locator demo user, we don't need to find it out inside every function. We just need to change it into our initiation class and it will get changed. Now let me replace these things also for login page. Yeah, see, I have replaced these like field or everything according to these parameters. Now comes to like our assertion part. It's like is logged in. So we will see whether we have the element which we are looking for is visible or not. So this is the same line of code which goes like here, this is visible part. Now let's replace our this test case, whatever we have like in test login. Okay, we need to import First, we need to import this login page. Yeah. So first we will be just going to the website. Then we have initiated our login page. We have called it from our this file what we have written from this class file. And then we are calling that let's go to the login, and we have put username and password here. And again, we will be using that method as an assertion, which we have written here. This one is logged in. Now let's try to run this. Login. I forgot the Python extension. So you see, like it's the same test case. Oh, it got failed. Okay, so we might have like missed something here. This shows like unexpected argument. I've written the argument in oh, we forgot one argument. Okay, so login must have argument named username and password so that it will be used. You can see like we have passed to argument. So it should be into our login function. Let's run it again. Yeah, let's see. Oh, now it's passed. So you have seen we have written all of the, you can say, code which is more belong to like what we are doing inside our test into the page classes. Our test is like very clear. Even like a person who don't know like what's have written inside that part can easily read that. Like we are going to a web page, then we have created a initiation, and we are just calling it the login function and then checking whether it is like logged in or not. So it's a very Pythonic way to write these test cases. Like it's something like which we call it like plain English, and anybody can read it. So that's how you can use the POM models. And you can add like multiple test cases, multiple pages here, and then call all the functions in like multiple test cases. It's like having all the methods in pages and calling them to your test cases. That's how like the POM works. Now coming to next is like test reporting. So we will be using like PyTest HTML here for our reporting part, like whenever like we run our test cases, how we can share the report with others. So PyTest HTML is the default reporting which comes with the PyTest, and we can opt for like LOR reports also. We can do some more reporting modules to integrate more reporting module to our framework. But PyTest HTML is the simple one, and it's very effective. So to use that, I'll be installing first the PyTest HTML again with the pip. So our reporting module is installed. Now to run that part, let's run the let me give you a bigger file so that you can see how a reporting works in a like big uh, multiple test cases. So I have created a new file which will have around like 5 test cases I have written already. This is for like similar way, doing the sign in part, then checking adding the product to the cart, then checking the checkout flow, doing checkout, filling all the form, and after it, one test case is the to remove the product from the cart, and at the end we will be also checking a failed test cases and see how like failures look like in a test report. I have written a test case where I will be checking the order history, which is not part of our website. So this demo website doesn't have any feature code like order history. So I'll be doing that part also. So let's test this. For reporting, as I have shown you, you need to add this like pytest dash dash html and then name of your report. Let's call it report.html and let's run it. So you see, like it have collected all those 5 test cases and running it one by one. So it will take around like probably few seconds. So we have some errors. Let me see. Okay. So there is a file which we need that will be conf test. So this is for the fixtures. Suppose we have some setup, we have some tear down. I have forgot it to like include into the project. So let me write it down also. So here we have created a fixture called logged in base. So every time we need to log into our website for different test cases. So for that, I have created a single function which we can use across our all test cases. So if you will see, I have called this function logged in base in every test cases which required logging in before like doing those steps. So it's kind of a setup which we can write into the conf test file. It's used for the pytest fixture. Now when we run it, so it started. So here is like one more tip for you when you will be using the Playwright. So you see, all of our test cases are going through the sign-in part. In Playwright, we have a capability where we can save the state. Like once you have like signed into your website, you can save that state and reuse it later. So that is like for the bit advanced level, when you have like multi-step things into a test case, and you will be running like, suppose you have 10 test cases which will be using same steps, and the initial steps are like 5 to 10 steps. So you can save the steps when you are on to the like the 10th step and resume all of your test cases from there. So you can search that out, how you can do that part, and maybe watch a tutorial, or probably maybe in future we will have some webinar or class for that also. For that, like just subscribe the channel and you will get notified for that stuff. Now we have this report.html. Now let's open it in a browser. So this is our report. You see, we have 4 test cases which are passed, one failed. We also have all the error messages and whatever we have put inside our test case. So when it got fails, the line number, the test cases, everything, and all the past test case also. You can also see if we have any logs or anything into the output, it will also show that, and it will give you a nice report. And if you want a more nice report, you can go to like Allure. Allure report is something like which is also a good thing to have. Like you can see, yeah, it will give you everything inside the your test results and all those stuff. And you can also check out browser stack test reporting. So browser stack have like test reporting and an analytics report where you can see whatever like goes inside your test cases, and it will showcase you how much test cases are failed, how much test cases are passed. We have some extensive tags for like these are the first time run test cases, these are the flaky test cases, and it will show you some more graphs like how stable is your build and all those stuff. So you can also see that part. Okay, coming down to our final things like now we will be talking about some real world use cases where all these things are like used, and how you can use that part. So I have told you you can automate like login testing, you can automate shopping cart things, e-commerce website, form filling, banking, so everything. So anywhere you're using a website you can automate that with Playwright. Now best practices, first thing will be keep your tests small and clear. It's like this is for this is not just for the Playwright. You can use all these best practices in any framework, in any tool. Keep your test as small as you can, so that like when you are running things into the parallel, when you can checking out like whether things are going smooth or not, it will become more easy when you have like smaller chunk of test cases. It will easily run into the parallel also. Second is page objects. So you can POM, as I have shown you, like uh, how you can use the POM and page object module, and how it can make your test cases written in like more clean way, and it makes easy to maintain your test script rather than just doing it like in writing in plain functions. Then leverage the built-in weight, like that explicit weighting gives you a sometimes you don't know like how much weight you want, so better to stuck with the built-in weight. But if you need the explicit weight hardly, uh, try to do it in loops, like just wait for 5 seconds, or you can say 2 seconds. And if that is not working out, then again wait for 2 seconds, and you can make that part in loops rather than just waiting for 10 seconds or 5 seconds. Then organizing your test, you need to make a clear structure of your test cases. It should have some meaningful names. It doesn't like writing a test case with like test one, test two is doesn't, you don't know like what's going inside the test. So you should write your name in a way so that just by reading the name of your test cases, you will get to know what's inside that part. And then debug smartly. Playwright have some great built-in debugging features. You can go into the tracing and debugging tools, and you will find out like uh, it's very easy to debug those stuff. Now, if you have any questions, I am open to take those questions and happy to answer that. So let me see some questions from the chat. Okay, so is it supported to mobile apps? Why PyCharm needs? How API tests perform using Playwright in this course? Python also covered. Okay, so starting from first, like for mobile apps, it is not covered as in native mobile applications, but you can test you can say web testing in mobile browser. It supports mobile browser, but it doesn't support like mobile applications. You cannot automate the mobile applications using Playwright, but you can test your website when it will be running into a mobile web browser. Then it comes to like why we need PyCharm. PyCharm is just like very handy when it comes to like Python. You can choose any of the like IDE, whether it's like uh, PyCharm, whether it's VS Code, and you can also write the things for Python in simple Notepad++ also. You don't need an IDE sometimes. So it's more of a like what an individually you like that part. Okay. So the question is which language commonly used for web automation tool in IT industry? So for language, I would say like it's mix of multiple languages currently used into the IT industry. It totally, so nowadays it's more about what language we used in the development. So developers, or you can say engineering teams, need a unified way to integrate things in all the testing solutions, or in all the CI/CD pipelines. So they prefer the language which are used by the developers, but it is not restricted to, but it is highly recommended also. Like if someone is developing the things into the JavaScript, or with the like React Native or something, it's better to use the JavaScript for your test platforms, or you can say with your testing tools. If someone is doing the development in Django Python, then doing the things into the Python makes more sense, because it will be much easier to integrate into your current stuff. And don't forget to like fill out the feedback form, because it's more important to us also. Like, and you will get the certificate once you fill the feedback form. Without feedback form, there will be no certificate of this webinar. So now, any other questions? Put it out in the chat. So I see a question like, is API testing is like possible in Playwright or not? So yes, API testing is like supported by Playwright. You can use the API test inside your test cases, and you can check out like how multiple APIs is performing inside the Playwright. Okay, I think that's it from my side, guys. So thank you, thanks everyone, and you can connect with me through LinkedIn, and you can check out you can say Medium blog also. So have a nice day. Thank you. Bye bye.